Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna take a look at our new Dreadnought, Pig and Rawkus. We get another good boy doggo and then we get a bigger Dreadnought, big beefy dude. He looks awesome. Head sculpt's a little questionable, it's just in the box, but we'll get into that soon enough. But yeah, just our standard packaging that we know and love. Some great art there on the side, and then you have your window there showing you everything. The side with the blue, and then a nice little portrait on the back there. But yeah, with that being said, let me crack them open and we'll get straight into the accessories and all the goodies. Alright, we have a lot to look at here, and I think we'll start with some of our basic accessories. Whoops. Fists. So yeah, we get some extra fists here. Well, not extra fists, but a pair of fists. Nice skin tone there. You can see all the molding there on the fingers, but nothing too distracting. And some nice sculpting on top of the gloves. Very nice. And they both have the vertical hinges, so they should go up and down. They're very tight hinges, and I don't know why Hasbro can't get their tolerances right with when it comes to these sort of hinges. I don't know, it's just difficult. In my Raptor review, I complained about his hands being way too tight and they don't really move up or down. But here they are moving, so at least that's something neat. And then he does have two grabbing hands, again with the vertical hinges, so similar system there. We also get a big hammer with spikes all over it, and with the sort of hog or pig, whatever you want to call it, face on it, sort of sculpted or molded. And you have the back of the hammer there to smash. And then you have some nice red tape here on the handle, more spikes here at the top. Just very nice, molded in this sort of silver. Very nice looking, and it doesn't really look too bad molded in that silver. So yeah, overall pretty good accessory. We do have this sort of hook, which they did not reuse from Crocmaster, so that's a surprise. So this is a whole new hook. If you want to give this to Crocmaster instead, you can, but yeah, there's this hook. It's in that darker gray with a brown handle. You then have his iconic sort of brick hammer with the nice sort of brown handling there, silver pole. But yeah, very nice texture to the brick up here, looking very cool. I would assume this is only good for one use, you know. This sort of brick isn't the sturdiest, so one hit and it breaks, but it's G.I. Joe. It's meant to last, so yeah, very nicely sculpted. Here's the top. Again, looks very nice, very cool. Love to have it. We then have his shield, which is reused from Shockwave's shield. It's just, you know, different deco. We have a sort of warning there. Good luck here on the front. The little hog or pig there, sort of breathing fire. Yeah. So yeah, very nice decals there. It's kind of small compared to his arm. I guess you could make it work. I don't think I'll display him with the shield. Probably with one of his hammers. Then we have his head sculpt. I thought this was an overlay piece, but no, this is a separate head sculpt for him. And it's this cool looking mask here, or sort of helmet thing, helmet and mask. It's just crazy looking. The eyes are red. You have all the sort of metal spikes or silver spikes all over. This just looks very cool. Very cool accessory. So this is standard head sculpt he comes out with out of the box. I don't know, his head sculpts look like he's just worried or not. I don't know, kind of looks like a baby face for some reason. They look good, they're painted well, and they have some nice little detail like his earring there, but I don't know, I just don't like how it looks. I think the lips also are kind of very like in front there. But here's the other one, and I was trying to figure out which person, or I guess who this belongs to. It didn't fit on the dog, or at least I don't see any way of it being a muzzle or how to fit this around the head sculpt of the doggy. The dog also has two head sculpts, so you have a more like calm, sort of good boy expression with the little eyelash across the eye. So yeah, there's those two head sculpts. It looks very nice. The teeth are painted well for the most part. Eyes are painted very well. But yeah, you can see different ears there, different expressions. So it's very cool for the doggy. I like those. But yeah, I couldn't figure out what this is. It's sort of like a muzzle, sort of like what we saw with Mud and Junkyard. I'm going to assume this is for Road Pig. It's the one that seems to fit the best. And here's the other head sculpt for him. Sort of is screaming, or whatever this expression is, sort of happy. Ooh, what makes it makes him look even more like a baby. I don't know, he just doesn't look angry or upset. I mean, I guess he's a little bit crazy, so he might find enjoyment out of smashing people up, but I wish he was a bit more angry, you know? But yeah, with the given option of having this, I think I may go with this rather than one of his other two expressions. That's just me. And for the doggy, we'll leave it comes out with the angry expression right off the bat, but it's the same body as Junkyard here. It's just a different head sculpt, but it's the same collar piece, same molding and sculpt. So if you have Junkyard here, you already know what you're getting with this guy. So I don't think I'm gonna go through the articulation with this guy, but just know he does have a lot of good range. I might as well go through it real quick here. Looking down, not too well. I mean, you can. It just depends on how you're gonna pose them. This whole top part goes lower in the head. I keep popping it off. But yeah, you have your arms, your legs here. They go in and out. You have hinges here, and then down here at the paw. The paws are painted. And then you have a sort of torso waist there, and then the legs back here spread out very well, and then they go forward and back. These hinges on mine are super tight. I already tried sort of articulating that too tight, so I may need to use some hot water. And then you have a hinge and painted paws. Very nice articulation for the doggy, or Rawkus as he is called. Now, when it comes to Road Pig, yes, I do have the other head on there already. Articulation-wise, I think he's overall pretty okay. Now, with this head sculpt, he can't really look up or down. He can look up a little bit. Down, I mean, that's pretty much where he's gonna be at. There is some tilt in there, and then yeah, he can turn side to side. Very similar to Raptor here, another complaint of mine. Again, they're just not leaving enough room for the ball joint to really move forward or back or anywhere, and that's what's gonna limit the articulation, unfortunately. With a basic head sculpt, you can look up about that much, which isn't too much. I mean, it's okay for a big beefy guy like him. Looking down, not so much either. You do have some pivoting in there, and you can turn side to side. But yeah, I think I'll just leave the other head sculpt on there. Arms go out about that much. It's gonna get hindered on this side because of the shoulder pad, obviously. But yeah, it can go up about that much, which is very cool. Back butterfly joints on this are very cool, by the way. So yeah, you get a lot of range forward and back with that butterfly joint. You have your bicep swivel. You have double jointed elbows, so that's pretty nifty. And then yeah, there's crazy detail and a bunch of stuff on him. But yeah, hand swivel, and then like I mentioned, they're vertical hinges, but they're very tight. The upper torso can lean back more than forward, so that's a bit of a bummer. Again, they just can't get the ball joints right to move forward all that well. And then you have your body or lower torso swivel or your waist swivel. Again, on a ball joint, but this one does work and function pretty well. He can kick forward about that much, at least with this leg. With this leg, about that much, because you do have this little strap thing here that gets in the way. You have your upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. The bottom one's kind of tricky to get to bend, but there that goes. And then you have your boot swivel. It goes back and forward about that much. It's going to run into the shin guard, and then you have ankle pivot. Just tons and tons of crazy on this guy. Articulation is overall pretty good, but yeah, tons of detail. You have a football sort of gear on top. I don't know, I forgot what the name of that sort of equipment is, but you have a few stars there. And then on this shoulder you have that crazy skull with the spikes. God knows who that skull is or belongs to. You have your back over here with some nice paint to the straps there. And yeah, you have a sort of tattoo here that goes all the way around his bicep. A sort of chain link there. You have another tattoo here. Pork bomb. This is a very fun tattoo. It's a very cool one. The one on his belly, I think, just says Dreadnoks. If we can focus on that. Dreadnoks, I think so. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. It's kind of hard. I think I can make out the dread, and then the N and the K kind of get lost in there. But crazy belt here. It's a nice little piggy there for the buckle. Very cool. And you have all these sort of silver bits and pieces. You have a nice belt there. Goes all the way around and it's painted silver. You have the arrow pouch here for his crossbow, which he has attached on his left hand, which is very crazy. And some more arrows there on the side. Very cool looking. And then this is a separate piece, so if you don't want the crossbow on there, you can just remove the hand. I think I may show you guys here. Remove the hand. And yeah, you can remove it. You can attach this to anyone else you want. A beefier figure. You have more tattoos on this side. Certified grade A ham. And then you have an A over here. Very fun to look at. I didn't think I'd have this much fun with this guy, but yeah, unfortunately one of the arrows is bent here. I didn't think I'd have much fun with this guy, but yeah, he just has a lot of detail on him. Very fun to look at. You have the shin guards with the brown, silver all over it. The knee with the pig there. Just looks very cool, very awesome, very pleasing to see. But I think that does it for my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think overall, he's a fun figure to look at. There's just a lot going on, and you just have tons of accessories. So you just kind of have to pick and choose what you want him to hold. I think I'll leave him with the new sort of mask helmet thing and his iconic brick hammer. Rawkus is also very fun. You know, like I said, he's just sort of a redo of Junkyard, just a new head sculpt, a different kind of sort of pit bull dog rather than a Rottweiler. But yeah, a fun figure. It's just a shame that Hasbro still hasn't found a way to make, you know, ball joints work or function as they should. They're not leaving enough room in the head socket for it to really move around and give you that range of motion that you actually need. Going back to Raptor, I just sort of started carving away the ball joint here so it can actually move. See, now it can actually move compared to how it was before. And yeah, he can actually look up a little bit more and look down a little bit more. Yeah, I just don't know why Hasbro can't get that right. You know, all you have to do is leave some space around the ball joint for it to move, but they just keep failing us on that department. But other than that, he articulates well, he functions well, accessories look great. Not much else for me to say here other than if you're a Dreadnoks completionist, this is a fantastic character and figure to have. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future video.